and I think I've reached like peak annoyance. Not because of the movie. It's because of the audience that we were there, like, watching it with. If you go to a movie, even if you don't realize before you went to the movie, but if you go to a movie and you realize it's a musical, just at some point, please stop complaining about the fact that music is playing. Like, it's really irritating for me to sit down through that.
We've been talking about it for a while. I mean,
yeah, ever since I stepped out of the theater, I started cutting.
We just left the movie. We've been talking in the cab over, and we've been talking since we stepped out of the. One of the things that I didn't mention before that I'm just thinking about is that before I was talking about the fact that Jamaicans, if they paid for something, then they're not going to not experience every single piece of the thing that they paid for, even if they don't like it.
Yeah.
Additionally, Jamaicans will never hesitate to complain. So even if it's become
terrible combination,
even if it's become a broken record, they will keep on complaining and not do anything about it. They won't leave the theater. They won't. They'll just keep. One person was asleep behind us. Just to make you angrier. One person was asleep. And at the end of the movie...
How are you gonna fall asleep in the middle of the movie when you paid to go watch the movie?
At the end of the movie, they were like, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. And I was like, somebody was asleep? When did you fall asleep?
At what point in the movie can you fall asleep? It's fucking Into the Woods, okay? By the way, the movie was great. It was really great, and if you can bear musicals, like, I highly recommend it. It's Stephen Sondheim, so if you like the music from Sweetie Todd, you're gonna really love this musical. The music was really good. The singing was better than I expected. Yeah. It's like a Hollywood movie.
And the story, like, I like how everything becomes completely connected in the Blame song. And I like the humor.
It's really dark.
It's dark, and they have some bits where you didn't, because it's a musical and because it's all old-timey period piece kind of fantasy story, you don't really expect it, so I liked it. But the audience was pretty bad. It was,
I mean, I'm the kind of person where generally I can bear an audience shouting at the movie, and I can bear a lot of disrespect from an audience, actually, because I'm kind of accustomed to it at this point, which is sad. But it's just, I have a specific pet peeve about people who go into musicals, see that people are singing, and get annoyed every time a song starts.
Every time.
I mean, right up to the final song of the movie that plays in the credits.
They're going to
the singing.
They must sing again. La whole and what? They still a sing. Wanted, and it's just like, yeah, it's a musical.
There's one part where, spoilers, the giant like stops two people from singing. There's a song going on and the giant cuts off the song, and the two people sitting behind us were just like, thank you. And we're like.
By the way, domestic abuse is just like completely funny apparently.
Yeah, because every time the mom hit the kid.
No, not that. I mean, yes, but there was a point where the wife was just like, the wife is there's a baker and his wife, and the wife is saying something to him. She's like, you did this, and he's like, well, you did that, and whatever. And somebody over there was like, well, don't just shut her box. And I'm like, what was...
For anybody watching
for what reason?
Jamaican, shut her box would be to slap her in the face.
Yeah. But what...
Roughly.
But for, like...
Very hard.
Like... Violence against women and domestic abuse and all of that is completely horrible, and there's no defense for it. often people will try and defend it, and they're like, yeah, well, she did this, and I'll be like, I understand why you think that makes sense, but it doesn't. But they were just like, why doesn't he just slap her in the face because she's talking? And I'm like,
it was
what's the deal?
The audience was irritating from start to finish, and it's really sad because I feel like I would have enjoyed the movie a lot more if I were watching it with people who could riff on it in ways that are clever and interesting instead of just cussing about the fact that they're singing. Like, if you want to talk throughout the movie, I am the person that you want to go to the movie with, because I will sit down and listen to you joke about the movie for the whole movie. I mean, John was sitting right next to me, and he was laughing about, the way that they framed the Hello Little Girl song, and the way that they dealt with the princes in agony. Like, agony was really funny.
Agony. And they're like splashing around on these rocks. Like,
oh my god, it was so funny. But yeah, he was riffing on the movie like the whole time. Well, not the whole time, but during some more interesting scenes. And that stuff doesn't piss me off. I'm not the person who gets pissed off of people talking through movies. Like, I am not upset that people were talking through the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I can sit through a really loud audience. The problem with the audience was the fact that they were cussing about a musical having a lot of music. And, it was a thing I specifically commented, like, I said it to John when we were talking. I was just like, if you see that there's, like, a certain amount of songs at the beginning, more than likely the amount of songs is going to continue in that form, because with musicals it tends to be that the songs are kind of evenly placed throughout the plot. So if you have like 4 or 5 songs within a space of like half an hour, every half an hour you're probably going to get about 4 or 5 songs. That's just how it works. So if you see right away that that's what's happening, it's going to be like that the whole time. You can stop complaining now.
It suggests a complete disconnect from what they're watching, where, like, okay, the human brain naturally seeks patterns to be able to understand things, and patterns include timing, and include, like, just noticing, hey, the songs are pretty much all the same length, and they don't come randomly. They come at intervals, and like you can listen and you can expect another song to come in.
Yeah, exactly.
Just timing wise, like, mind you, you take in musicals more often than I do, and I am really analytical, so I'm just going to do that anyway. Maybe a lot of people won't notice something like that, but it still seems so strange to me that they would just
be upset about the fact that music is playing, right?
And they would never stop being upset. It never stopped.
I never got that at all. I did not understand why is it that you're still upset.
The music was good too.
I should stop because I've been grumbling for like a good 8 minutes now or something, right?
Yeah.
But it's so irritating. If you're watching this and you are a friend of mine and you do this in front of me, I will lose some respect for you. I want to be honest, because this shit pisses me off.
Did that happen in Zydrate?
Repo, when we watched Repo.
Did that happen in Repo?
It didn't, but I don't know if it's just because people were really enjoying. I think when we watched Repo for our film club, like, people really enjoyed the genre of music that was coming through, because it's a lot of different stuff is going on. I think actually the most grumbly that people got was when the opera song happened, but then again, there was a lot happening on screen in terms of what was... No, I'm referring to Blind Mag's song.
Okay.
Because her song is just like straight opera. But I feel like because of what happens in that scene, like they weren't really that upset about it. So yeah, it's probably a genre problem where it's kind of show tunes classical because it's Stephen Sondheim, as I said. But I don't know, just like what do you expect when you go in and you see something is happening and a musical is a musical, and these people they were making Disney references behind me. So I know at least some of the people who are complaining have seen Tangled.
Yeah.
Did they do this during Tangled? I hope not. And Tangled was a movie that I watched the trailer and I did not expect it to be a musical.
Yeah.
Into the Woods, you watch it and there are clips from the songs. So you should expect it to be a musical. Tangled, there wasn't a lot of singing in the trailers.
The trailer for Tangled was deceptive. It was specific.
It was very dreamlike.
It had scenes that were not in the movie. It
did.
Scenes that they were trying to make it look more like, well, look at this Rapunzel. She's hip and all the kids like her. She's so cool. Look how she uses her hair. And you're just like, okay, I want to watch that. But
yeah, and then it turned out to be a musical when you went and watched it, which for me is fine, but you know, not everybody would be okay with that. But Into the Woods is different because it had music in the trailer.
Lots of music.
And people still behave the way that they did when they watched it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's strange.
Anyway. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everyone.
And if you're watching these videos because you're actually interested in our Buffy stuff, I'm really sorry that I haven't updated in a while, and I'll get to that. And
me too.
Expect more and better content for 2015. And if you go to Into the Woods, don't complain about the music. Unless you don't like the music, in which case that's a completely different story.